Well, shit, Fab Gang. Guess what? You probably saw the thumbnail. We got fucking raided. So, back in September of 2021, we had the Queensland Police Service come into our beautiful home and try and bust down the door and find anything they could in relation to cannabis and to try and pin us and make us look like criminals. Never thought I'd have to make this video. Actually, that's a lie. I probably thought about this quite a few times when we started the Friendly Aussie Buds brand. Myself, my housemate, my partner, my other housemate, well, we dealt with some shit. If you've been wondering why we've been away for a while, it's basically because we've been dealing with the crap from the courts, from the cops, from the mental health, to just everything relating around this incident. So they come in and kick down the door. I'm the only one home. Man, 10 cops coming at you, full like tactical SWAT, no helmets and stuff, but you know, rugged up. They're looking tough. They're looking mean. They're like,
yeah, we're here for the drugs.
Us being a cannabis brand, you know, we like weed. Turns out we have a lot of weed-related things in this house. So what do they find? Of course, they start with a couple bongs. What cannabis household doesn't have a few bongs? Then they slowly proceed to go upstairs into my bedroom, my beautiful bedroom. They start questioning. They start ripping things apart. They make a bloody mess, to be honest. And here I am going, fuck. What did I do wrong? What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? And as it turns out, I have done something wrong. I decided to grow a single plant here in Queensland. Just one. Didn't have two, didn't have clones, just one plant. It was beautiful. Probably a week away from harvest. And it was the first plant I had ever grown. And well, they took it. They took my baby. They took my baby away. And I'm not really sure how or why this happened. You know, not really anyone knew about the plant. I don't think they knew about the plant. They came in with a possession warrant. They came in looking for cannabis with someone who is a legal medicinal user. Good chance I probably fucking have it. We don't really know what tipped them off. We have a couple enemies out there in the community. For some reason, they don't like us. Maybe we have a little more attention than they would like. Maybe we've said some things that they don't like. We don't really know. Could have been someone even more localized. Could have been a neighbor, but to be honest, we're pretty certain either the cops found us out or someone dobbed us in. It's one or the other. Whoever did it, fuck you. Kind of suck. You're just setting back the movement. But also thank you. You're a wonderful human being for giving us a whole bunch of stress. Really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Fuck you. Being a public presence comes with, let's just say, consequences. You know, we decided to embark on something with Friendly Aussie Buds that hadn't really been tried in Australia. And that's trying to provide a safe and strong community for really recreational cannabis users, but as I've come to find out, medicinal cannabis users as well. So I was charged with a few things. One was possession, one was utensils, one was production of dangerous drugs. I would argue it's not dangerous as the doctor prescribed it to me, but I'm not one here to argue with the courts yet. And the fourth charge was something called relevant things. So I had relevant things relating to crimes or something. Anywho, it was about a 6-month ordeal from September through to the end of January. It took quite a while to resolve a lot of the court stuff. Why? Because the police make mistakes in their evidence. What mistakes did they make with my evidence? Well, they took my tubs and my partner's tubs and her oils from the legal medicinal scheme and claimed it as illicit cannabis. And then they decided to mark that down as evidence against me. They're like, we don't know what's in these. And I'm like, well, maybe you should find out because that's my legal script. And how many grams do you think the police marked down in their evidence report? 120. Apparently I had 4 ounces of medicinal cannabis in these tubs. These tubs hold 10 grams each and they were not full. I was down to my last couple nugs. I just had a phone call with my doctor that morning to order my new prescriptions. And turns out the police like to weigh the plastic containers. I'm not sure if the police realize you don't smoke plastic. I'm really not sure. They might have something in their head thinking that's the case. If they're really not sure, they need to check out friendlyaussiebuds.com because I'm pretty sure we have something about consuming cannabis on there that can help them out. They might just be struggling. Honestly, guys, I know probably after work you've had a chuff, but if you're chuffing on plastic, please stop. It's for your health. Don't do it. It's not good. Not good. It would explain the brain damage though. We've taken a break from Fab from September through to now. We're in about March of the time of recording. And we've been completely radio silent. We haven't said a thing. We haven't popped anything on. One reason why we did this was simply we needed to reassess the direction of Friendly Aussie Buds. We really needed to have a think about where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We don't want to end this project. We really don't, because this is not our full-time income. This is not our full-time job. I don't know if a lot of people realize this is something we do for fun and passion and love. We like cannabis. We think it should be legal. We think it would create much better outcomes for society. So we want to keep pushing with this. We had to take some time to think about it. In that time, we decided to keep working on our other business. If you ever need a digital marketing agency, check out Creator Club. That's us. That's our primary business. We do this for a range of clients, from finance to fruit shops to hydroponic stores, actually even some cannabis clinics. But what was really unfortunate about this whole situation, the police decided to take my phone. Now, my phone getting taken was actually really detrimental to my business and my mental health, because I have a whole bunch of things that I run my business off of on my phone. That included my two-factor authentication, passwords, bank accounts, all sorts of things, as well as my own personal information and photos and all of that. Why did they take my phone? Well, to be honest, I don't know. They were just like, give us your phone because you're not going to unlock it for us. Why did I not want to give them my phone and unlock it? Oh, well, let's have a think. I have bank accounts on there. I have my clients on there. I have crypto on there. I have a whole bunch of shit I don't want someone to be looking through. And why did they want to look through it? Just to find anything they could to incriminate me. It took 3 months to get my phone back. That was a pretty painful 3 months, as I lost thousands of dollars during that period of time because I couldn't access my phone. They didn't charge me with supply. They didn't charge me with anything like a dealing charge. They were just like, you're guilty, we're taking your fucking phone. So where did this leave us? Apart, a declining mental health, the instability, wondering what the fuck's gonna happen, all of this. Like, I didn't smoke cannabis for about 2 weeks, or very lightly, because it was basically just giving me straight anxiety at this point. It's very stressful going through all of this. You're wondering, are they gonna come back? They, insinuated all sorts of things that we could be charged with federal crimes and all sorts of things. So where did this all leave me? It left me with about $2,500 in fines and a whole bunch of mental health problems. My lawyer fees were $1,000, and my lawyer was Richard Gray from Richard Gray & Associates. He's based in Brisbane. He takes on legal aid clients, and basically that means he'll help people who are a little out of pocket and that sort of thing. We weren't that kind of situation, as we are full-time income earners. However, I went through him as I had him recommended through Matt Henderson, who specializes in cannabis law down in Sydney. I want to thank Matt as well, because he referred me to a barrister up here in Queensland who referred me to Richard, and that kind of got the whole process moving. If you're ever in the need of a lawyer down in Sydney, check out Matt. He specializes in cannabis law and a few other things. Really great bloke. And if you're in Brisbane, check out Richard Gray & Associates. They can help you out great. In terms of a fine, I got a $1,500 fine and no conviction recorded, which is a pretty good result considering. So what does this mean for Fab? Are we back in business? Well, yeah, we really kind of are. We're re-energized. We're really excited to see where we go. We know our purpose. We believe in a legal cannabis future, like free the weed. Like literally, it's behind me. I work behind this all the time. Where does that leave us? Well, we're going to be serving up the same old great Fab taste, 0 sugar. What's that mean? Well, simply put, we're going to be trying to make sure we don't get raided again. So we're going to make sure our content is a little more in line with things that won't get us into so much trouble. Hopefully. We're going to really be talking a lot about the medicinal cannabis and the scheme and how to access it, clinics to go through, doctors to go through, what you need to know, how to prepare for it. Maybe we'll then talk about some of the medications that are available, because personally, I've tried a good 20 to 25 different products. I've got a good first-hand account of everything on the legal market. And secondly, we're going to be talking a lot about cannabis decriminalization. So what's this really mean? We're going to be pushing on some campaigns to really change the state and federal laws around medicinal cannabis users, so changing the driving laws. But we also want to change a little bit about the utensil laws, so not being able to have a bong and being charged for it. As a medicinal user, you're not really allowed to use a bong, and we've learned this firsthand. The police were able to take our bongs. I can understand health reasons for doctors prescribing you, hey, smoke a bong, of course. It's probably not the best thing for your lungs. You might argue with me there, but personally, I'm not a big fan of phlegm. But calling bongs dangerous devices? Hardly. Bongs never killed anyone unless it was like a G-spot and they just whacked someone in the head. Bong probably isn't going to kill someone. So charging someone for having a bong and being on the medicinal scheme, it really doesn't make much sense to us. We've dealt with this personally, so we want to make this a bit of a matter through the next year or two. We're going to run a few more campaigns. We're going to produce some product reviews. We've got some great products that we've worked with or that we're fans of. We really want to highlight them. So some of the other content we want to produce our Know Your Rights series. So basically, this is for you to know your rights regarding cannabis, medicinal or otherwise, and just what you can and can't say in court, what you should avoid saying to police. We want you to avoid the worst consequences of the law, just in case you end up in, well, I guess our position. In regards to our written content, we're going to still be producing some written content. Maybe a little less than we used to. We've got a few other things in mind, particularly shooting a whole bunch of video. Expect news, reviews, guides, and obviously, the big one, memes, and more. So hit that subscribe button because you're going to see a whole bunch more video content coming here on our YouTube channel, and we want to bring a whole bunch more podcasts with big prominent names. Thanks for sticking with us. It's obviously been a bit of a trying time for us and even maybe people in our community. We want to thank you for, supporting us through this. A few people did know about what's happened and, they gave us their best wishes and all of that. And fundamentally, we love this community. We want to help it grow. We really want to keep this going. We've actually created a new FCK PGR logo design, and we've got a whole bunch of shirts that we printed just before we got raided. They're going to be up on the Fab store. If you'd like to support us, please consider buying one of those shirts. That's a big help for us. We don't really make a whole lot of money from this project. It's something we just love to do. For those of you that loved our content, we're shifting our tact a little bit, but it's going to be the same old great content, and in fact, it's probably going to be a little better. Stay fab, gang. Love.